I'm going crazy. There was a fire at Shiqiaopu. Within just a few minutes, thick smoke rolled out, scaring the people working upstairs. It said that over 100 electric bikes burned in total, and it all started from a small spark that turned into a huge fire. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. There were over 100 electric bikes parked here, and no one dares to claim them. Who's going to pay for the damages caused by this fire?
The fire started, my God, it's so fierce.
Around 1 p.m. on June 11th, a fire broke out in the electric bike parking lot at Shiqiaopu, Chongqing. There were several loud explosions. It started with one electric bike catching fire, which quickly spread to other bikes and electric cars parked nearby. The flames engulfed the entire parking lot, and the thick smoke blocked out the sun. From the videos taken by netizens, you can see that one electric bike caught fire and ignited the others in the shelter. The fire spread quickly, eventually setting the entire parking area ablaze. The fire was so intense that people could see the smoke from dozens of kilometers away. Upstairs, residents only saw a dark sky, and nearby buildings were blackened by the smoke. The entire bike shelter was completely destroyed. Despite the intensity of the fire and explosions, official reports confirmed that no one was injured. It's known that the fire started near the Taixing Technology Plaza. Workers in the plaza noticed smoke in the hallway around 1 p.m. and immediately ran out to escape. One worker said, "My legs were shaking as I ran." In videos circulating online, some car owners risked their lives to rescue their electric bikes from the fire. This was extremely dangerous, and some people were burned in the process. One car owner posted online, saying that their bike was among those destroyed, resulting in significant losses. Mr. Chen, who witnessed the incident, said he was at lunch with a friend when he saw the smoke and ran outside. At that point, the fire hadn't started yet, but it spread so fast that within minutes the area was engulfed. He managed to pull a row of bikes outside, but when he ran back to grab his own, his arm was burned. Watching this video is truly frightening. Netizens commented, "It's exploding and burning. It looks like the Russia-Ukraine battlefield. Looking at the pictures, you might think it's another arson case in Los Angeles. Cheap lithium batteries come at the cost of safety." Another netizen sarcastically wrote, "China's GDP relies on huge fires. Just burn things down, and that's how you do it. Then they'll make you stop consuming." One netizen shared, "Honestly, after owning an electric car for 5 years, you will never want to buy one again. You'll resolutely go for a gas car. Don't believe me? Mark my words." In recent years, several electric car fires have occurred across China, sparking widespread attention and discussion. These incidents highlight the gaps in technology, safety standards, and regulation within the EV industry. On June 10th at 11 p.m. at an intersection in Qingdao, a Xiaomi SU7 Ultra collided with a black gasoline car. In less than 5 minutes, the Xiaomi car was surrounded by flames, exploding loudly as it caught fire. In comparison, the gasoline car, though also damaged, had only slight dents and showed no signs of catching fire. By the time the fire department arrived, the Xiaomi SU7 was completely destroyed. Why did the gasoline car, which contains fuel, not catch fire, while the electric car did? When questioned later by the police, the driver of the electric vehicle was also confused. He said he had no idea why the car suddenly caught fire. Later, a vice president at Xiaomi commented on the incident. He claimed that it was just an ordinary car accident, and the reason for the fire was because the driver had placed 4 bottles of white liquor on the front passenger seat. His response led to an outpouring of anger from netizens. They questioned, can 4 bottles of white liquor really burn a car to the point of turning it into scrap metal under 5 minutes? Many netizens directly questioned the safety of Xiaomi cars in response to the company's explanation. No matter how many electric car accidents or self-ignitions happen in China, the result is always the same. Either it's the driver's fault or an external issue. Xiaomi and BYD will never be at fault. One netizen commented, "Why release immature products that harm people?" China's electric vehicle industry has been strongly supported by the government and has seen a sharp rise in sales in recent years. This has sparked a price war in the car market, with some cars priced as low as $12,000. According to data from the Ride-Hailing Association, 60% of electric vehicles sold in 2024 benefited from the government's trade-in support plan. Under this price war, many car companies cut corners and used subpar materials. On the night of June 8th, in Guangzhou's Tianhe district, another heart-stopping incident occurred. A car suddenly caught fire, and in an instant, flames shot up, followed by explosions. That evening, Mr. Wang, who was driving by, noticed the alarming fire from a distance of about 200 meters. As his vehicle approached, two loud explosions suddenly broke the quiet of the night. According to Mr. Wang, the vehicle that caught fire was a small blue car. Luckily, no one was inside the car when it caught fire, and the owner was already standing in a safe area. However, during the firefighting operation, the vehicle continued to emit electric sparks, and there were 3 or 4 small explosions. In recent years, electric vehicle fires have been happening frequently. The technology for domestic EV lithium batteries is not mature, and there are manufacturing defects. On June 10th, a Link & Co. 900 caught fire on the highway in the city of Guan, Hebei. According to on-site videos, the fire started in the right front side and the engine compartment, followed by an explosion. The car owner stated that he had purchased the 2.0T Ultra model only 2 weeks ago. Half an hour after getting on the highway, the car caught fire spontaneously and all the doors were stuck shut. The SOS function couldn't respond, so he had to break the window to escape with his family. On social media, netizens have compared electric vehicles to ticking time bombs or moving coffins, reflecting the public's distrust of battery safety. Aside from electric vehicle fire incidents, there have been frequent explosion accidents recently. On June 3rd, at around 6:20 p.m., a fire broke out at the D building of Haibo Plaza in Xi'an. Witnesses described that the fire started on the exterior wall of the 6th floor and rapidly spread upward, covering the entire building in just 20 minutes. The scene was horrifying, with flames reaching up the top floor, engulfing the entire building. So scary, the fire trucks here.
Is this a residential building?
Is this a residential building? Oh my god, this is terrifying. I feel like the hose won't reach.
The building is so tall, the water pressure from the hose can't reach.
Right, it's better to spray from above.
Even from above, the smoke is so thick that no one can stay inside.
Witnesses, including a delivery worker named Wang Lei, described the fire starting from a pile of debris on the first floor, quickly spreading up the exterior wall insulation material, which created a chimney effect. It caused the flames to rise rapidly along the wall. After 20 minutes, the 20-story residential building was engulfed in flames, with thick smoke swirling above and burning debris falling to the ground. A woman holding her phone was shaking as she said, "I watched the flames lick the side of the building, climbing upwards faster than the elevator." In the video she recorded, the exterior insulation panels collapsed one after another like dominoes, and the flames leaped up in the air along the air conditioning units. The entire building turned into a massive torch in the twilight. One witness described how the thick smoke shot up through the cable shaft to the top floor. Some residents covered their noses and mouths with wet towels and hid in the bathroom, while many others frantically knocked on their neighbors' doors to warn them to escape. Incredibly, the fire trucks were blocked at an intersection 500 meters away, with private cars, shared bicycles, and illegal street vendors blocking the fire lanes, making it impossible even for bicycles to pass. What's even more dangerous is that the exterior insulation material was highly flammable B3 grade polystyrene foam. This material ignites easily and releases toxic gases when burned. The Ministry of Housing and Urban-Rural Development has explicitly banned such materials in high-rise buildings, but regulatory gaps in the renovation of old residential areas have allowed these deadly materials to remain in use. This fire in Xi'an was the result of multiple combined hazards: clutter in the lower floors, illegally parked cars blocking the passage, and flammable exterior materials. Add to that the ineffective fire management. Every link in the chain paved the way for disaster. Our research reveals shocking data on high-rise fires in China over the past 5 years. There are 347,000 high-rise buildings in the country, with over 6,000 super-tall buildings over 100 meters high. Both figures are the highest in the world. However, in sharp contrast, more than 60% of fire safety facilities in high-rise buildings fail their annual inspections, and 70% of property management staff do not know how to use fire safety systems. Last year, a high-rise fire in Hangzhou was delayed because the fire hydrant had no water. On the night of June 9th, a suspected gas pipeline explosion occurred in Xiaodian village, Nan'an City. It caused a 3-story house to collapse and explosions that affected an area up to 1 kilometer. As of June 10th, 2 trapped individuals were confirmed dead, and 5 were injured. The cause of the explosion is still under investigation. According to several videos from the scene, the first floor of the 3-story brick house was completely burned, with fierce flames spreading to the roof and multiple explosions heard in quick succession. One eyewitness said, "The windows on the 3rd floor were shattered and the doors were all smashed." Netizens commented, "This gas explosion is like installing a bomb in your own home. What's the difference? If vehicles across the street exploded like this, imagine if people were on the road. This power is unimaginable." Some netizens complained, "Every day they just think about raising gas prices. Where's the regulation? Where's the after service? Many village gas pipelines look frightening. It feels like a shoddy construction project." On June 10th, a fire broke out at a mattress factory in Shiqiaopu, Henan. Part of the factory building collapsed due to the flames. The video footage shows a large factory workshop on fire, with thick black smoke and fierce flames visible from several kilometers away. On June 4th, a mattress factory that had been operating for over 10 years in Chongqing suddenly caught fire. Thick smoke and flames engulfed the area. The factory owner, Mr. Cai, received a call from a neighbor and rushed to the scene. He was stunned to find that the factory, filled with raw materials, finished mattresses, and furniture, had been completely consumed by the flames. He said, "Hundreds of thousands of yuan just went up in smoke. The factory was already losing money, and now it's even harder." On May 27th, an explosion occurred at the Youdao chemical factory in Gaomi, Shandong province. The explosion was so loud that netizens living 2 to 3 kilometers away reported feeling strong vibrations. Videos from the scene show a mushroom cloud rising from the factory, with white gas spraying out of pipes. The massive shockwave shattered the glass of nearby shops and school buildings. The windows of homes in the closest neighborhood were twisted like pretzels. Many explosions show reddish-brown flames, confirming that nitrates were burning. Explosions involving nitrates are highly powerful, and the factory was mostly destroyed, leaving only the frame standing. A shop owner near the explosion site said the area was immediately sealed off. She was about 3 kilometers away from the explosion, and the sound was so loud that the windows facing the explosion direction were shattered. A netizen said he heard a loud explosion, even though he was nearly 40 kilometers away from the incident. The company involved in the explosion mainly produced pesticides and insecticides. Official reports say the blast resulted in 5 deaths, 6 missing persons, and 19 injuries. However, the official death toll was met with skepticism. One person commented, "Isn't this a made-up story? The explosion happened suddenly, with no warning, and it was so powerful that people inside were instantly vaporized. It's impossible that only 11 people died." One netizen posted that a college friend of theirs narrowly escaped. They finished work at 11:30 p.m., and the explosion occurred just before midnight, only 50 meters away from where they were working. It was truly a stroke of luck that they survived. Their home, located 6 kilometers from the explosion site, was shaken twice, and they initially thought it was an earthquake. Another netizen shared, "My sister teaches at a nearby school, and all the windows there were shattered. The students and teachers had to quickly evacuate and go home. Everyone had a bitter taste in their mouths, and the masks couldn't block out the fumes. The hospital's ICU was completely full, and almost the entire city could hear the explosion." How many safety hazards were revealed by the explosion? A netizen pointed out bluntly, "State-owned enterprises rely on government subsidies to survive, while private enterprises risk lives with shoddy construction." The explosion at the Youdao chemical factory in Gaomi, Shandong was a tragedy. It caused casualties, widespread damage, and raising safety concerns about the spread of toxic gases. It also exposed the deep-rooted safety issues within China's chemical industry. Chinese enterprises invest too little in safety, and their equipment is outdated. For example, in the chemical industry, safety investment abroad is 3 to 5 times higher than in China, and waste treatment is 8 to 15 times more. After 30 years of rapid development, China now faces the urgent need to address the maintenance of industrial safety facilities. In modern-scale industries, labor costs aren't that high. The prices of raw materials are the same globally. The only way to squeeze out profit advantages is through cutting corners and using improper practices. This is the major issue that China must now face after its rapid development. As China's economic environment worsens and internal competition intensifies, the frequency of public safety incidents will greatly increase.